I'm here in the Ibrea office by the UN. It's very hot here in New York. This is the beginning of Ibrea. So in the year 2000, Ilchili, the president of Ibrea Foundation, he gave a poem, The Prayer of Peace at the United Nations with many other spiritual and leaders and educators from around the world. And this is the root of Ibrea and the key message and philosophy of Ibrea. And just a little bit about my own background so that I think many of you can resonate with my own experience in international leadership and my change in perspective when I started working in Ibrea. So I had been working in international development before starting brain education. And I came across the program when I had just graduated from Harvard University in Boston. And I had worked also before that for various years in a UN agency in Europe. And so theoretically, I was doing this great work, humanitarian development, but I couldn't feel my heart. Something was missing, something I always felt was missing. And when I started the program, Brain Education, I realized actually all the problems that I see and I experience in the world are truly my problems. My problems as a person, as Isabel, as an individual human being. So what my big awakening was, I can't separate myself from others or from the world. That's just not true. So I started to take a good look inside and start to chip away and solve the issues that I had felt inside. So I started working on all those issues. And after 1 year of intensive training is when I started at Ibrea, and I started this conference, and I came with this big passion and message to the United Nations, and only a handful of people came, a few ambassadors came to the conference, but anyhow, I really delivered innocently my mind, because I really felt we have the key, we have the answer. And the ambassador of El Salvador, he picked up on it, and he said, let's try it in my country, where there's a lot of problems with violence and drugs and many other social issues. So let's do a little project, an Ibrea project, in one of the most violent schools in the country. So there we went. And this is in El Salvador. El Salvador is a small country in Central America. It has many problems, especially with violence, but also drugs and poverty and many other social issues. And we arrived in this school, and we started to work with 39 kids. These kids, I always remember their faces and their eyes. It's like after the training, it's as if they felt hope for the first time in their lives. And they had so many problems. Their parents were in jail or killed the day before they came to our class, and very dramatic situations like this. And only in a few months, they really experienced a transformation. And one of them, Laura, she's here. She was a single mom at the time, struggling to make it through the day, but she made a big change. She turned her life around. And then after 10 years, she's been training with us, and she grew so much as a healer and as a leader of brain education. Now she's training people across the country. So many cases like that we have seen. This was the start of that process in El Salvador. And so after, in the year 2012, we did a community project, because brain education is always, like I said, we can't separate ourselves from others, right? So it all goes together. So when they make changes in themselves, right away we ask, okay, let's take an action for the community. It's the most natural thing to do. Let's share. And so they all came together, the students, the teachers, people from the community, rival gangs from different groups, everybody together caving on the ground and creating the swimming pool. And then this was even a global collaboration because many people from Korea and Japan gave big donations, in the US as well. This is the message that Chile gave with the swimming pool for peace. So I will read it to you. Discover your great value inside and manifest it in your lives. Only then will you be able to create peace inside yourselves, your community, country, and the world. Be always proud of your pioneering work for global peace in Distrito Italia. So this swimming pool is really a symbol of global peace. And then in the years that followed, we grew exponentially. We made a partnership with the Ministry of Education, and the program went all over the country. In 2012, in partnership with Korea, Ministry of Education, and then from 13 to 19 with the Ministry of Education in El Salvador. They provided funding and the president provided a lot of support. So it was a great expansion. And all the schools and teachers and students participating experienced similar stories of transformation. And then in the schools, not only the atmosphere changed into a culture of peace, but also the stress levels reduced, the violence levels reduced, the academic performance improved. So there are many indicators of success in all the schools. And in 2018, the president of Ibrea, Chile, he received a recognition from the president of El Salvador because of his work throughout the years through Ibrea to create cultures of peace in the schools. And then back here in the US, we have been working in Harlem. It's a deprived community also here in New York. We started in a school giving brain education to the kids. And then we opened the center to provide the program to the wider community and create an impact in the society, in the Harlem community. So it's kind of our training ground in New York, in the US, other than helping the Harlem community. So it has these like two functions, to help Harlem and also grow international leaders from New York to do this work to create peace. So we have done little community activities in Harlem, like, for example, there is an issue with garbage, so much garbage all across the city. And we decided to clean the garbage from the tree pits and then instead plant flowers. So this created a lot of hope in the community. So the future, here's the future. We are now focusing on creating the Institute for Peace in Central America, Peace and Earth Management. It's missing there. It will be Ilchi Institute for Peace and Earth Management. So the work of Ibrea so far can be seen as something small in the eyes of the world, but to me, truly, it's something amazing and big, because delivering the Hongik spirit truly and helping people really unleash the big potential of the brain. Yeah, let's work together. Globally, our whole Hongik community, we are far physically, at the same time we're so close. We really share a vision and a dream. So my final message is, let's work together. Okay, thank you so much. I hope this wasn't too long. Again, congratulations on this wonderful event. And it's such an honor and a blessing to receive the award of international leadership. And I truly hope that we can provide more good news to you very soon. And most of all, really work together. Okay, thank you so much. 감사합니다.